What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You got your boy TruRacer YT Tech, and we're back with another one. Today, it's going to be a kind of a little funky way of doing this, but we're going to get it done. So what you're looking at right here is a theme that basically turns your entire Galaxy phone into a Game Boy. And I'm going to show you some pictures right here, but that's not what the video is about. We're going to actually be reviewing the Game Boy case today, and we're going to talk about that. So this is just examples of everything this theme does. Now, this is not a free theme. This theme cost me $2.68, but it literally makes everything Game Boy-like. I'm having a little issue with mine right now. It's not quite doing what it's supposed to be doing, but that's all right. I'll figure that out later. I'll reinstall it or whatever I got to do. We're actually here today to talk about this thing. Now, there's a few things to talk about with this just right off the rip. As you can tell, the screen is severely scratched up. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to really play the game too much, but we are going to talk about it. Now, I turned off sound, but here, real quick. And I think I actually got to charge it. Yeah, gotta charge it. But basically, the way this works, I turned the sound off. That's why there's no sound. The controls itself, for being something that's so cheap, is not. Yeah, I can't really play it one-handed as I'm trying to hold the phone. I'm actually using my wife's Galaxy S22 Ultra to record my phone, and I think it just shut off on me because the battery is dead on it. I actually haven't charged the case once since I got it. Now, let's just go ahead and get into it, because you can tell the screen is scratched severely. So, first of all, if you were going to consider getting this, and there's about 36 games on this particular model, and there may be some differences, variations in different models, and we're going to talk about what phones you may be able to find this case available on, so you can kind of have an idea. But just off the rip, as far as the screen goes, I would highly recommend getting some kind of screen protector, because as you slide the phone into pockets, or actually here, let me show you something. Okay, so this is a case I use when I'm at work, and basically the flap opens up, you slide the phone in, and I think a combination of going in and out of that case, a combination of going in and out of my jeans pocket, has led to the screen being all scratched up. Does it affect the playing of the games? Kind of. You can still play the game. It'll still be decent, but I can't sit here and say that when the screen is that scratched up, it's not going to prove to be some hindrance. Now, the buttons. Let's talk about these buttons. As you can tell, if you look at it close enough, see how some of them appear to be a little messed up. Now, something I have realized about this case that you should take into consideration, as you're sliding the phone into your pocket, these buttons may pop out. I've had these buttons pop out completely where I got to force them back in and adjust them correctly. These have come out. I haven't had the D-pad come out yet and had to fight with that, but it's possible. Now, the speaker is right here. It does decent audio. We got a micro USB charger port on the case itself. Now, let's say you get this case and you want to say, well, how am I going to keep my phone case protected, or my phone screen? Well, okay. Yeah. How am I going to keep my phone screen protected? You're going to have to get a screen protector. Luckily, I have plenty of screen protectors, so that's not an issue for me. Now, let's go ahead and flip this camera around. Alright, so now getting into this whole process, right, you're going to need a screen protector. It's that simple. And there you go. See, that's a, yeah, let's swipe that away. Okay, the rest of that can be seen. But you can see that's part of the Game Boy theme I was talking about in the beginning of the video. So it does work like that. And I thought, you know, I got my Galaxy Buds Game Boy themed out with the case. I got my phone Game Boy themed. So let me get an actual Game Boy theme, and it works good together. Now, but like I was saying, what phones could you even put this on? Well, actually, I think just about any phone. So your Galaxy lines, the S series for sure, for many different models, makes, year models, and all that kind of stuff, and even iPhone. So this is a way you could play some of them old retro games on iPhone without all the BS that you have to do to play old retro games on an iPhone. I know. So you might say, well, I have such and such phone. How do I find it? Simplest way I can tell you, go to Google, type in the make and the model of your phone, and then type in Game Boy case with it, and look at the results. Odds are it'll be on Amazon. That's pretty much where I've seen them the most frequently at, but I'm sure other sites sell it too. Now, once you find your particular model that you need for your phone, like I said, keep in mind you're going to want to do something about this screen. But on the other hand, don't forget about this screen. You will want a screen protector for that because you don't want to damage your phone screen. Another thing we need to talk about is the camera lenses. Now, in this case, especially on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, it leaves the camera lenses exposed. So if you have a phone where that can happen, what you're going to need to do is go on Amazon and look up your phone, say Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra or maybe a S23 Ultra, camera cover. And then look at some of the options that are available and find one that you can be appreciative of, you could be okay with, you could be cool with having on your phone. And that way, every aspect of your phone is protected and covered. Now, to be honest, these phones nowadays cost so much money. Why would you not want to protect everything about them? The screen, the back, the camera, just everything. So, okay, now you're going to want to say, is this something I'd want to buy? And really, that's a good question. Let me see if I can set this phone down so I can stop holding it. So let's try that angle. Now, is it worth buying? Like I said, it's maybe 15, 20 bucks. I think the highest price I saw was like 30 bucks, but that may be in a different variation. So I would say if you want to play like particularly 36 retro games, and they're mostly NES games, that's what it comes down to. So even though it looks like a Game Boy, but then again, you call it a Game Boy, but couldn't you also call that like an NES controller? I mean, A, B, select, start. Well, you got 2 extra buttons in the D-pad, whatever. But it's kind of more like a Nintendo. But I just refer to it as Game Boy. And when I searched online for it and everything, Game Boy case brings it up every time. But like I said, the games play good. Now, as far as playing the games with the controls that are on there, I didn't have an issue. I was actually really happy to play some of them games, especially like Mario Bros. 1, and play that with a real controller, because I have the emulators on my phone. I mean, I have the ability to play those old retro games actively on my phone, but I am not a fan of touch controls. I'm just not. So to have native buttons right there on my phone is amazing. Now you might say, oh, come on, you know tech, gaming and all this. Don't you know you could connect a Bluetooth controller to your phone and play those old retro games on a controller? Yes, I do. But the thing is, I have an Xbox One controller or the Series controllers, whatever, PS4 controller somewhere that I can use on my phone. Absolutely. But I don't have a way to just smack it on there. Really? I've never done that before. That is crazy. I haven't where I can double tap my power button and the flashlight will come on, but I've never tapped it like that and it popped on. That was weird. Okay, but I lost my train of thought. Nice. So, overall, like I said, I know I can play the games and use the controller, and I could even level it up and take the games, put them on my big TV, wirelessly even, and use the controller and play those old games easily. Okay, but all that requires me to be home. This right here, you can be anywhere. You don't want to text, you don't want to be on social media, you just want to play some games, you grab this right here. And the only thing I don't really like is, why is it upside down? I get it. It's because of the camera. It has to have the opening. I get it. But it's annoying to me. You flip it over and it's upside down. You got to remember to flip it back. So that's a little complaint, but it's really not that big of a deal. Overall, I would say it's worth it getting. I mean, it's just a few dollars. And now you might say, yeah, but it's a cheap case ultimately. And if you have an expensive phone, wouldn't you want to spend a lot more money on an expensive case? Truthfully, no. And that goes the same with screen protectors. Now, I've seen some really stupid high-priced screen protectors. And I've seen people do videos on them on YouTube talking about comparing this really expensive screen protector compared to this really cheap screen protector and getting similar results. Like, so difference is so minimalistic you wouldn't even notice. So the case is kind of the same thing. As long as your phone is covered and protected, like I said, make sure your camera's protected, make sure this screen's protected, make sure your phone screen's protected, and you're good to go. Now, let's just say in general, okay, how much is that going to cost me to cover all that and protect all that? Okay, let's say, just for instance, the case is $20. Let's say the camera cover is $15. So that's at $35 right there. Screen protectors, come on now, you can get those for like $3, $4, $5 easily. Multiple pack, like 2, 3, 4, 5 of them for just a couple dollars. So let's say $40, and your entire phone is covered. You're playing old retro games. Oh, I forgot to mention a screen protector for this. I don't really know how to find one for that. Honestly, as terrible as this sounds, I kind of thought it's too late for me on this one because it's already so bad. But I kind of thought about just putting some tape on it. I mean, realistically, it's not like it's my phone's actual screen. And you might say, well, what happens when you want to take the tape off and it leaves a sticky residue on the screen? Rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol wipe, you just rub it right on there, and any sticky residue comes right off. No problems. And it cleans the screen. So, I mean, that's an option if you want to cheap out on it. I mean, ultimately, you're not putting, I wouldn't say you're putting a screen protector on to keep it from cracking, although that might not be a bad idea either. Actually, yeah, we'll talk about that real quickly. So just protect the screen. That's all I'll say about that. So I had an incident, okay. I dropped my phone. I've dropped my phone before, but never like this. And I want to say when it fell, it was about waist height. So let's call it 3 feet, 4 feet down on the concrete. I want to say it landed on the back side. And, well, the camera took no damage. And I think what that comes down to is because if you notice, it's raised right here. But it's lower on this side, but it's still, on this side, it still has a bit of a lip on it. So I think that helped out there. So I'm definitely going to be getting a camera cover just to protect my camera so I don't have to worry about that. And maybe at some point I'll buy another GameBoy case and do something to protect the screen from the jump so I don't end up with that again. But for the time being, as long as I can plug this one in, charge it up, and use it, and I can still function with the screen, I'm going to rock this one until it's broken. When it's broken, I'll throw it in the trash and I'll get another one. But in the meantime, in between time, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative. And I hope you find it a little bit entertaining. In the meantime, in between time, make sure you subscribe, post bell notifications, all that good stuff. And make sure you pay attention because I try to post at least one YouTube Shorts every single day. So you never know what I'll be talking about in the Shorts. It could be something totally gaming related or just something completely out there. You never know. So that's why you got to sub and put the bell notifications on because you don't want to miss it. In the meantime, I'm out. Peace. Hope you enjoyed. And I don't even know. Bye. Have a beautiful time, everybody. Okay, I'll stop the video. Peace.